And the system stops being racist and there's nothing stopping us. And you brought up the prison rates, and you said something that was actually really important. You said it's because their communities have been economically depressed. So that would not be because of the color of your skin. That's economic privilege. If you ask me whether or not I believe in economic privilege, I would tell you yes. If you ask me whether or not I think that somebody born into a family of billionaires will be afforded more privileges in life than somebody that is born in the projects of Chicago, I would say yes, because economic privilege in this country does exist. But there is no law in place that is stopping a person because of the color of their skin from gaining that economic privilege, which is why I do not believe that white privilege, which is based upon the color of your skin, exists.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question. My goodness. Somebody give out free hugs. I can't be your mommy, okay? I'm too pregnant. I can't be your mommy.
I hear a lot of black and brown people talk about white privilege. What I'm actually hearing them say, not just that all white people have privilege. I mean, sometimes people say that. And sometimes I roll my eyes at that. I'm like, the people that are going to clean this room, for example, and they're not getting paid a lot of money. I would be hard-pressed to ask some of those of you who are black and brown to come in here and just wait in the room when they show up to clean, and then they clean the bathrooms and so on, and explain to them how it is that they have privilege.
The white liberal savior complex always wants to tell everyone else that they are oppressed. I'm telling you guys, you are not oppressed. If you work hard enough, you'll get the results you want to get in life.
I think the idea of white privilege is absolutely reprehensible. And it's not because white people aren't privileged. We have all sorts of privileges, and most people have privileges of all sorts, and you should be grateful for your privileges and work to deserve them, I would say. But the idea that you can target an ethnic group with a collective crime, regardless of the specific innocence or guilt of the constituent elements of that group, there is absolutely nothing that's more racist than that. It's absolutely abhorrent. I can't... Yeah. I mean, if you really want to know more about that sort of thing, you should read about the kulaks in the Soviet Union in the 1920s, K-U-L-A-K-S, because they were farmers who were very productive. They were the most productive element of the agricultural strata in Russia, and they were virtually all killed or raped and robbed by the collectivists, who insisted that because they showed signs of wealth, they were criminals and robbers. So, one of the consequences of the prosecution of the kulaks was the death of 6 million Ukrainians from a famine in the 1930s. The idea of collectively held guilt at the level of the individual as a legal or philosophical principle is dangerous. It's precisely the sort of danger that people who are really looking for trouble would push. So, and just a cursory glance at 20th century history should teach anyone who wants to know exactly how unacceptable that is.
What's up, guys? This is Wilby with PragerU, and welcome to beautiful Florida. Today we're talking to people about white privilege and whether or not they think it's real. Let's do it. And guys, before we get started, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so that you never miss a new video here on YouTube. So you heard of white privilege before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you think white privilege is a pretty real, significant thing?
Yeah, I think it's definitely real.
Yes, I definitely think there is discrimination in society now.
I mean, there's some stuff that I look at and it makes it seem like it's legit. I don't know, though.
When you just think about everything as a whole, and then society and just different ways, different situations play out for different people, compare the two situations, it's pretty obvious. There's no denying it.
Just throughout, even housing, education, it's everywhere.
I mean, I think there are some things that some minorities may not have, like certain resources they won't always have access to.
What about white people that don't have those resources too?
That also happens, but minorities, it probably might be more common than
It's absolutely sad that these are college educated students and this is the rhetoric that they go around their whole lives with. I think it's quite insulting that they go around thinking that black people in specific, because they classify them as a minority, are less privileged than themselves, which I would say, in my opinion, is actually racism, because they go around thinking that they have more privileges than other races based on the color of their skin, which is very interesting. And the question that Will asked there was a very good question. What about white people who experience the exact same thing that they experience? And of course, his answer, just like an NPC, was it doesn't happen as much as it happens to minorities. Therefore, racism.
White people.
Why would you say that?
Different statistics that I've looked at and sources.
Cool.
I mean, there's absolutely things that like you get advantages with if you're white, but like as far as affirmative action and like institutional, there's such massive advantages you get when it comes to non-white privilege.
I think there are certain instances of like
True.
black privilege as well.
And to an extent, yeah. Certain situations, yeah, I agree.
I got a 33 on my ACT. If I went to, you know, Stanford with that and I was a Native American, I would be getting a full ride scholarship right now, but you know.
Yeah, they don't have like the straight white male scholarships that you have for all the other minorities and everything.
Mark Cuban tried to come up with one of those and people called him racist for that.
Do you think that, like me as a white guy, have more privileges than you as a Latina?
I've never experienced any like disadvantages really, personally, so.
That's a good thing. It's like a lot of people will talk about white privilege as if it's like a really big deal, but then haven't actually experienced any instances of it. What resources do you think minorities don't have that white people have?
Like certain access to stuff like laptops in school and stuff.
You have got to be kidding me. I don't even like using the term minorities, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to say it so that people know what I'm talking about. But he just said minorities do not have access to laptops. You have got to be kidding me. It's absolutely sad how indoctrinated college students have become. And that's why college is becoming a more and more of a thing of the past.
You're Mexican. You have a laptop?
I do.
Your family have a laptop?
They do.
What do you think about the concept of white privilege?
I think it's kind of ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. I don't think it makes any sense.
We're all
It's
aware that like there's absolutely been oppression in like the last 50 years and there's still oppression today. Like there's no doubt that there's still oppression today. But the term white privilege is used broadly for like an incredible amount of things that don't necessarily apply.
There's a million different things between the average white person and the average black or Latino, Hispanic, whatever, insert race here person, other than the color of their skin. So you have to take those factors into account as well.
Depends on the background, where you come up and raised from, and just, you know, you're walking through life, different people you meet, different opportunities you have that I may not have, different opportunities I may not have that I may have that you may not, you know. It's
just blatantly racist if you ask me, to look at a person and say the only reason where you got where you at is because you were born a certain way.
It's
that quote right there that black gentleman just said is absolutely true. It's blatantly racist to say that because of the color of your skin, that's why you are where you are at today. There are many Africans who come to America and they do better than the black Americans who are in America till this day. And I'm not saying that people haven't suffered. As I keep saying in all my videos, every race has suffered some sort of racism or oppression against them. But the way to move forward is to take responsibility of what you can do now and stop complaining about what happened in the past. Everybody has experienced it. White Irish came to America and experienced racism as well, but we don't talk about that. We always talk about how black people and Mexicans and brown people, they're all oppressed, but the white man can't be oppressed. The white man at one point was also oppressed in America.
more about what you can do and less about what your predisposition should allow you to do. And that's, I think, the most important thing for people to recognize is, yeah, there are white privileges, but there's also Asian American privileges, there's also black privileges, but more importantly, it's socioeconomic privilege.
So basically all he said there was everyone has privileges, which I agree with. Some people have more privilege than others and some people have more privilege than other people, and that's just how it is. There is no equality amongst human beings in general. Some people start off better than others in life and some people start off worse. And as he stated, I would say there's more of a socio-economic privilege more than anything. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. and I am out.